Welcome back to the studio, everybody. It's After Hours Ultimate Studios, Inc., because it is almost 2 in the morning. And while I know there are people in LA out there partying, for real, I am sitting in the studio playing with guitar pedals, because it's fun. And actually, this is something I've been doing all week, because in the last couple of weeks, I have put in quite a few, or at least several new pieces of gear, so I've been trying to take some time to get to know everything. So at the end of the day, when I'm finished working or mixing, I kind of pull out some gear and I just run some stuff through it. I think I put in a Valley People Dynamite, which is awesome, by the way. A Kush Clariphonic, which quickly found a home on my vocals for all my mixes. That piece of gear is amazing. So what else I get over here? I put in a TC Electronic D2 delay unit. I picked up another Lisa's Quadriverb because I have some sort of infatuation with those things because they're cool. And also the Radial EXTC. And that's what we're going to play with tonight. This is something I've wanted for a while because I've been getting into guitar pedals and I've wanted a way to integrate them in mixes and recording a little easier and faster than the way I'd been doing it. And this box is pretty cool because it's a reamp box, but it steps down, it takes your line level, steps it down to instrument level so you can run it through all this stuff, bumps it back up to line level. You have a send volume, a return volume, and this unit has an A and B loop, so I can actually have a set of pedals on A and B, and I can add them together, or I can, A-B them, hence the A-B, and see what I like better. And they also have a 500 series version, but I went for the desktop guy, and it's working pretty well. So far in the last couple weeks, what I've used it on is vocals, actually. A couple mixes where I've used the Boss DD5, which is awesome, actually going into my Quadriverb 1, on vocals for a nice mono delay. It's really cool because it's got a lot of character. It's not hi-fi sounding, so it does a great job of kind of getting out of the way and just melding with the music. And also with Bat Farm, actually in yesterday's session, we were using the OCD on some vocals with Alex singing, and it worked really well. OCD's a bitchin' pedal. So what I want to do today is I'm going to experiment a little bit with some of this stuff on drums. So you're actually going to be experimenting with me. I'm just kind of getting to know this. I'm getting used to it, how to integrate it best into my workflow and some of the ideas that I've been having. So I know that in the future, I'll probably do more videos as I get used to it and use it more, and then just find some of the interesting ways to use it, and I'll just report back with updated videos. Today, I'm just going to run some drums. I recorded a loop, just a minimal mic setup, kick, snare, overheads, and then I have an Audio Technica 4080 room mic and my good old MXL Fox Dynamic as the over-the-kick mic. And those are the two mics that I want to try using this stuff with. There's another video I'm sure you're seeing, I'll put a link in the description, where we use the OCD with the 57 out in front of the kit. Today, I want to start with the over-the-kick mic, which usually gets hit fairly hard with some compression. But what I want to look for is ways to thicken it up a little bit and give it some character without actually compressing it or EQing it. And what better way than running it through some pedals? Maybe even some delays, add a little, some fun stuff here and there. So that's the first mic I want to start off with. So let me just do this. The console's all laid out for a mix tomorrow, so I'm just using these last few channels. And here is the bass drum sound, the kick, snare, and the overheads. And here is the over-the-kick mic. So I didn't compress it, no EQ, not doing anything to any of this stuff really. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick on the insert. So I have this in the patch bay, and it's on my insert on the console. And right now, there's a selector button here on the sides. I don't know if you can see this. There's 2 selector buttons. I'm going to start with A because that's where I have this stuff on. The Octave Fuzz, the fuzz pedals get kind of crazy. There's only one thing I want to do with that, or try with that today, but we're going to spend some time with the OCD and these delays and see what kind of fun we can have. So let's starting with that microphone. Let's hear it clean. Everybody off here. So here's the OCD. So, a lot of character, it's thick, it's gritty. What does it sound like with everything else? So we'll start with the down and I'll just slowly raise her up. So it's actually really cool because it adds some thickness, and of course you could drag the crap out of it. And it's doing kind of what I thought it would do, thickens it up, gets really gnarly if you hit the drive, you know, press the drive up a lot on the OCD. And gets more effecty, kind of blown up sound. Maybe not the right sound for everything, but imagine if you got kind of a sound. And again, this is stuff that's been going through my head that I'm just trying to make notes on. So in some mixes coming up and even some recording sessions, I go, okay, wait a second, the OCD did this or the Octave Fuzz did that, where I can add that to it. What if we, you know, if you just want to thicken your sound up, it's actually pretty cool. Now, okay, so some delay. So another thing that I've done a couple times, I did this on a Bat Farm mix on an EP that's coming out, where I used delay underneath the drums, just almost like a percussion instrument. And that's something I was kind of messing with the Boss DD5 and the Time Force, the Nux. And just having fun with it, actually. You can kind of tweak things. That's one fun thing about the pedals. You get your hands on them, you start tweaking. It's a lot of fun. And you can waste hours and hours and hours doing stuff. But this is something I did. I think I actually used the delay on the quad reverb and set it, and we tracked it while Dennis was tracking. A delay that just, like I said, it acted like a percussion thing that just added some cool movement that was always underneath that kind of disappears when all the music comes in, but if you turn it off, you definitely lost the motion. And it's kind of fun to play to as well. So you can also do the Boss. And you could have a lot of fun. You can go to town tweaking it. You know, all you tweakers out there, you'll love this. So that's the over the kick mic. And it's kind of cool. And maybe instead of some compression sometimes on that, I might end up doing this just to make things beefier instead of more attacky. So now what I want to do is stick it on the room mic and see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're on the room mic. So what does that room mic sound like with nothing? Here it is. And that is an Audio Technica 4080, which if you've seen any of the videos, especially the session videos we've done, you'll know that I use that mic all the time. It's awesome. So now, let's hear that. I'm going to turn this off to start with. Wow, that's cool. I am gonna have to take some photos of that setting. It's cool because I'm so used to hearing compression on rooms, like smacking things really hard and creating all this excitement, that this just kind of makes it fat and blows it up, but without the side effects of the compression. And then the delay adds a whole other dimension to it. I want to take the kick and the snare, and I'm going to actually use an aux on the board. If you were in the box, you could just copy them over and send them out to this. But I'm going to do it since I'm on the console. I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to send the kick and the snare pre-fader on an aux to this. And we're going to see if we can add the Octave Fuzz in and really blow something up. So, Un momento. Okay, we are back. Now, I'm sending this, we're going to turn this over, we'll turn the room and the over the kick mic off. What I'm doing is I have aux 2, I'm pre-fader on the board, and we're going to send it over to this, and it's coming back up here on channel 17. Let's just make sure I did this right. Sounds like a kick and a snare. Let's see if we can blow it up a little bit. So let's start with, I'm going to turn the delays off. We're just going to go distortion on this. So here's the OCD. Volume, some drive. It's noisy, it's awesome. It's got character. Talk about noise. We're on the Octave Fuzz, but we're on the fuzz setting, not the octo setting, because it gets kind of crazy there. So let's hear what this sounds like. It is saturating that, and it is squashing that sucker down, and it's fat. So what happens? I'm going to start with none. What happens when we turn them both on? It's noisy. It is crushed all to hell, but it is cool. So I'm going to pull the overheads on, and we're going to turn these guys back on, and I'm going to slowly bring this in with the overheads. Man, that's blowing up like some Beastie Boys shit right there. So now, what if we put up normal sound? Hold on, let me take that down. Listen to that hiss. Man, I could fall asleep to that at night. Okay, I'm going to kick the EQ on in this, which I am pushing a shelf at, I don't know, I'm probably around 100 hertz, a lot, 7-8 dB. I'm pulling some 3-ish, 100, and I'm pushing some probably 1-ish, 2-ish K, somewhere in there. It's boy, those are loud. It's almost like we've got some really gnarly saturation happening, just flatlining the signal. I was looking back on the computer that's recording all the audio come up here with both of these things on. Man, it's like there's a hard limit. It doesn't go anywhere past that. But there's obviously a lot of cool sounds. Is that a usable sound and everything? Hell no. But if you need to make something gritty and gnarly, it's really cool. I like to try to find things that are unique to the song I'm working on for the artist, so it's not just the same as everybody. I'm not into that. That's why I have a lot of gear that, you know, like I like a quad reverb. I think it's cool. The delays on there don't sound like anything. It's not hi-fi. This delay is great. Even this delay is really cool. You know, the OCD's kind of a workhorse, from vocals to drums, guitar, obviously, bass. This is almost always on my bass sound when we're reamping. It's just kind of one of those pedals that works for everything. But it's all about finding different ways to utilize it. And like I said, I'm going to come back to this at some point after I've had a little more time to work it in with some context and find some ways to use it that I like, and I'll make some new video, do some video updates. And if you guys are using pedals in any way, let everyone know. Hit the comments, let us know, and if you know some cool pedals, let me know, because I'm going to add that to my reverb watch list. I just decided I'm going to be broke forever because I'm buying gear like crazy because it's fun. Anyway, that's it for late night at the studio. This is like my third night in a row of being up super late, just trying out all this new gear, trying to get comfortable with it and seeing what I can do. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to go try to catch some sleep because I got a mix to do tomorrow. So, all right, guys, happy recording.